All right, peace and greetings, YouTubers. So welcome to another edition of In the News. Let's just jump right into it. I gotta start off with IHOP. IHOP, what y'all doing? First of all, and if you know, I low-key already have a beef with IHOP anyway because I got banned from one before. Or not really banned, but more so like just disinvited. At this point, if I showed up in there, I don't even think they got the same staff anymore. And I don't think my picture's on the wall or nothing like that. Long story. I did a video about it, but anyway. So they've always kind of been on like my S-word list for a good minute. But, you know, IHOP decided that they wanted to go in a new direction and change their name to IHOB with a B. And, you know, a lot of us were speculating like, oh, it must mean like International House of Breakfast or International House of Brunch. You know, something that would make sense that would correlate with what most people go to IHOP for. But IHOP was like, no, it's actually going to be for the International House of Burgers. And then they launched this new campaign and had new commercials and pictures. And I said, wait a minute. I didn't know people went to IHOP for burgers. Is that what y'all do? Y'all can answer that in the comment section. There's certain places like IHOP or Denny's where specifically, if I go there, I'm only going for breakfast. I don't really, to be honest, when it comes to IHOP, the menu, I don't think I've ever turned past the breakfast section, so I don't even know what they serve. Hell, they might serve pizza and gyros for all I know. But I found that very interesting. I was like, burgers? Who asked for burgers? You know, sometimes when you already specialize in something, that's just what you need to stay in and work that lane. And so maybe they might make good burgers. I've never had one from IHOP, so y'all can let me know how they are. But I just found that interesting because, you know, sometimes people like to partially indulge in things, but not the full experience. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Bodyguard soundtrack. When I was little, I thought the soundtrack only had 6 songs because when I was little, my mother would start the album over after all the Whitney Houston songs in the beginning finished. Like, I didn't know there was a whole second half to the album until I was a teenager. And I put it on one day and I was like, what are all these? Oh. Then I was like, okay, I see why my mom started it over. Okay, cool. Even though I will say, I did like Soul System's remake of Bill Withers' Lovely Day. That's the one other song on the Bodyguard soundtrack that kind of knocks. The rest of them, yeah. But, yeah, you know, it's kind of like that. Or asparagus. Nobody eats the bottom half of asparagus. It's really just that top piece. That's what everybody wants because that's the part that, you know, the texture's really good. And then when it's all seasoned and flavored with the olive oil and the seasoning, it just goes in. That stem, ain't nobody want that. God, it's like diet celery. And then, or like the terms and conditions. You know what I mean? Most people, whatever it is, if it's like some kind of app or some kind of game or something they're trying to play, you know, they partially just want to get to the game. They don't care about reading the terms and conditions, so they'll scroll and click accept. And then they don't even know if they've, you know, sold off a kidney in their firstborn. They just know that they're about to play Candy Crush. And little do they know somebody's gonna be at their front door the next day, coming to collect. But yeah, so IHOP, y'all, good luck with that. And I think the name change is already in place. I don't know, but yeah, that was interesting. I was like, burgers, okay. That's like going to Taco Bell for some seafood. But anyway, moving on. Then I just read. Oh no, wait, hold on. I gotta come back to IHOP. And speaking of IHOP and these pancakes, my beef with IHOP, by the way, I don't think their pancakes are that good. Like, I love their French toast, but their pancakes, for some reason, maybe it's just the ones that I've been going to, but their pancakes, like, here's my expectation when I get a pancake. Based on the pancakes that I make, I like my edges to be like crispy based on like, you know, when you put it in the little skillet with the olive oil or the butter or whatever you use, and like the edges are nice and crispy, and then it's like really hot and there's like a hint of butter on the edges, and then the inside in the middle is like really, really hot and soft. And so when you cut into it, it's like the steam just comes out. Like, that's what I expect when I go to IHOP for a pancake, if that's what they're gonna name themselves, International House of Pancakes. But no, when I go there, every time I get their pancakes, it's like the top layer of the pancake is this tough, hard, almost like a shell. I'm like, what kind of mess? And then you got to get 8 pounds of the butter pecan syrup to drown it out to try to make the pancake a little better. I don't know if y'all put them things in a microwave or what, but y'all need to, if you want to change something, change how you make them pancakes. The flavor's good, but the texture's wrong. Anyway, goodness, I really felt some kind of way about that. I'm pissed off now. But moving on. So I read that Sarah Huckabee Sanders is possibly leaving the White House. I don't know if it's true or not. I saw it trending on Twitter, and all of the sources are allegedly saying that she's making her transition out. Sarah said she is sick of y'all. She is tired. She gotta go. I mean, she probably stressed out. I just feel like Sarah probably was like playing every Mary J. Blige album on the way to work every day. Like, she's not, you know, Not Gonna Cry, Enough Crying, My Life. What else does Mary have? You know, some struggle songs where you going through it. Like, I just feel like that's what she was going through. Just, you know, playing all them songs. Because, you know, it's a lot of work to go and lie in front of the country every day. You know, lie to the whole world in front of millions. And you just standing up there lying, talking about anything. That's why I'm surprised she didn't do a press conference after the NBA finals, because I just knew she was going to say the Cavs won and no more questions, move on. But, Sarah, I have to give her kudos, because I'll tell you what, at least she could almost read the books to the kids better than Melania, because I don't know if y'all saw that clip of Sarah reading the Easter book to the kids. She had a little bit more energy than Melania, because y'all remember, I'm going to find the clip of Melania and put it on the side right here. But look at this Melania clip. The thing that got me about this clip is, first of all the kids, and I think I've talked about this at least 3 times already, but all the kids in that hospital were over Melania that day, and she's reading that book. She's not showing no pictures. See, the difference between Melania and Sarah is at least Sarah did like a quick... See, on this side, look at Sarah. See, Sarah was passing the book. See how she did a quick thing and then kept reading, even though she looked like she didn't want to be there. But Melania, goodness, and the poor kids at that hospital. First of all, the kids were already sick. You done dragged these kids out of bed for this photo op, and then of all the books to read, you're going to read, the places you'll go. The kids are already sick. They ain't going nowhere no time soon. Why would you do that to the kids? Like, I just like the little black girl because she looked over it. Like, totally over it. So, Sarah, we'll see where you go. Hopefully they do something about that eyebrow. And I'm not trying to cook how she looks, but I told y'all, every time she lies, she has that eyebrow that just gets higher and higher. So it might be coming back down since she's transitioning out. But, I mean, to be honest, all jokes aside, I just think anybody who's currently working in this administration, there's definitely a lifestyle change that comes their way once they get out. Because I think when you look on that resume and it says that you were a part of this administration, people just look at you like, oh, okay, can't take you serious. And so I don't know what Sarah's next move is. I would have almost said good luck to her, but then I just remember that she done went and then lied and said all these crazy things, and she contributes to a larger problem that's currently going on, in my opinion, within the country. And I mean, literally, she's just doing her job, but dang, have some integrity. So I guess maybe that's why she's quitting, if she's quitting. We'll see. So that's Sarah. Anyway, while we're still on this administration, I will say, I saw that they had the summit with Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un, or Il, whichever one it is. It's one of the moons or the Ils. The dad was the Il, okay. But, yeah, so a lot of people, what I found interesting, I'll say this. Y'all know I'm not crazy over Trump, but hell, if him and Kim Jong whatever can get along and make it work so I can sleep better at night and know that I'm not going to get blown up, because y'all forgot, like, I live in D.C. I can literally walk to the U.S. Capitol from where I live. So I don't have time for somebody dropping a bomb over there, because that means I'm collateral too for their nonsense. And I've told y'all every time, when it comes to these international affairs and when these different countries are beefing, the majority of the time, it's not even the people of the country who have a beef with the people from the other country. It's just the leaders who got a problem. So listen, like I said before in some other videos, if Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un just want to get hammers and lock themselves in a room and go for it, and the best man win, go for it. Do what y'all got to do. Leave me out of it. But it seems like right now, we're almost on good terms. I don't know what will happen in like the next 5-6 months, because one, both of them are really unstable, and all it takes is somebody to sneeze the wrong way, and then it's back to square one, and then it's some more tweets and everything, because he was just calling old boy Rocket Man a month ago. But we'll see what happens with it. I low-key think that Kim Jong-un actually really doesn't even want to have a whole bunch of problems with the United States. I think he would rather have, and I'm not saying that because he's afraid of us or anything, but I think at this point he would like for his country to have more than what they have, because of all the trade embargoes and the different bans and the sanctions and stuff like that. It's really tough for like a place like North Korea to, have access to a lot of resources that the rest of the world has, because we've not only have they isolated themselves, but the rest of the world, specifically led by like the U.S., has isolated them to the point where they can't really trade. Their only, trading partners are like Cuba and China and Russia. That's pretty much it. But we shall see where that goes. But again, I always tell people not to judge the people affected by whatever's going on in the country, because I pray that the rest of the world doesn't look at the United States and think that all of us align ourselves with what's currently going on. You know what I mean? As far as who your current president is. Like, please don't think that I align with this guy. I just live here at this point. Okay? It is what it is. Jamie Foxx. Okay, I just read this today as well too. Now, from what I read, he was accused of being in a situation with some girl, and long story short, she said she got slapped in the face by his penis. And now he's taking legal action, and he's also like, I guess because he's like, nope, y'all not about to put me in this mess. All I'll say is this: when it comes to something like the Me Too movement, the only thing I would hope that people stay wary of is one thing. I see that at this point, everybody's kind of getting put into the same bubble. So if you're accused of rape, if you're accused of sexually assaulting somebody, if you're accused of doing anything that takes away somebody's liberty, or if you did something as simple as make an inappropriate compliment, you're all put in the same box. And so I'm like, listen, for those who are doing the atrocities that really affect people in a negative way, yes, throw the book at them. But for some of these people who may be doing things like maybe it was just a compliment or a statement that they said was problematic, I don't think you should be putting those people in the same boat as a rapist or somebody who sexually assaults somebody, this, that, and third. Now, this has nothing to do with Jamie Foxx at this point. It's just something I'm noticing. And the issue is because once somebody's accused of something of that nature, whether they have done it or not, especially if they haven't done it, the court of public opinion never changes. Once you have that reputation, it's there forever. So it's kind of like, some of these people who are being accused of some of the things that are, being put out there actually haven't done anything, but it is what it is. And then of course you got the ones who low-key have just done every atrocity in the world, and it's like, yeah, you going to jail. But I just think the movement is reminding me of McCarthyism, if you remember that. And with McCarthyism, this is back when the Cold War was really kicking off, and everybody thought everybody was a communist. So a ton of people got accused of being a communist, and even if they denied it, it was like, you're lying because you're in collusion. So a lot of the people who were being accused, because they didn't want to lose their careers, they'd be like, I'm not a communist, but I can tell you who is. And then they would go and tell on somebody. And then that person would be like, no, I'm not one, but I can tell you who is. And before you knew it, like so many people had been accused and they were throwing other people under the bus, and a lot of people like lost their careers. So my opinion with everything that's going on as far as holding a lot of these people accountable who have done these really terrible things, yes, hold them accountable, but at the same time, I think there has to be categories for what it is that people have done. I don't think you can put somebody who's made some kind of compliment or who may have made a crazy statement in the same boat as somebody who sexually assaulted somebody, because it's apples and oranges. Okay, it's inappropriate, but you can't equate that to somebody who's stripped away the rights of somebody or the liberties of somebody. Because at this point, I don't even want to hold the door open for nobody no more, because I don't want their shoulder touching mine, because you're not about to put my name in nothing. But Jamie Foxx, I don't know what you got going, man, but get your PR together and figure that out, because sucks for you. Anyway, last thing, Tiffany Haddish. So I saw that she was trending, and you remember a few weeks back, maybe a month or two ago, there was this big story about somebody biting Beyonce at a party, and they accused and kind of hinted that it was Sanaa Lathan, and people were like, well, who is it? Because Tiffany Haddish had kind of, I guess, hinted about it, and I guess they're saying she confirmed that it was Sanaa, this, that, and third. I don't know, low-key, I really don't care, but the thing is, like, Tiffany, my advice to Tiffany is, I would say be careful, because I feel like the industry is getting ready to typecast her, and they're going to keep her in that same kind of role that she's in now, and that's the only kind of work she's going to get. Like that, I see them doing that to her, and so she might want to be careful, because they will use her as like a, pretty much a plug or a ploy for a certain image that they want to put out there in the media and in Hollywood. So she has to be careful. But man, Tiffany can't hold water for anything. You know what I mean? That's like some friends you just, woo. Like, man, if I was ever going to rob a bank, Tiffany couldn't be in the group, because we'd all go to jail, because Tiffany going, as soon as that plea deal come, she'd be like, I'm talking. Speaking of that, what had me cracking up a few months ago, or a few weeks ago, like, one of my friends, it was like super, super late. They're going to send me this text, and they send this text, and it's like, if anybody asks, I was with you yesterday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I was like, huh? Now, usually, well, here's the thing. I only have like one good friend where if they send me something like that, I'll be like, boom, okay, cool, I'm down. And that's only because that friend is so quick on their feet, and they will always get you out of anything and have everything together. Like, that's the one friend I trust where, like, literally, if we were to rob a bank, which I'm never gonna do, like, I know we're good if they're the one that put everything in charge, because they're on it. Like, they got me too, like, they got me beat. This friend, the reason when they sent me that, I'm like, something doesn't add up, because their heart is too pure, and they're too honest, and they're too nice, and they're too transparent, and I'm like, something doesn't sound right. And so I send a question mark, because if it would have been the other friend, I'm like, okay, cool. But this friend, I'm like, no, wait a minute. So I send a question mark, and then I'm like, and they don't respond. And so I wait like 20 minutes. I'm like, let me call them real quick, just to make sure everything's okay. And so I call, and then they're like, can't talk right now, gotta go, click. Huh? And so I'm like, okay. Then they send a text message like 2 minutes later, and they're like, the investigator's here right now. Delete this text message conversation. I'm like, what? delete this investigator. And then I had to start thinking, because in the area there had literally just been a murder 2 days before within like a 1 mile radius of where we work. And so I'm over here thinking like, oh Lord, they didn't kill somebody. And I'm over here thinking like, wait a minute, what? No, I haven't been with you. No, you're not about to put my name in this, because now I'm over here, my investigation discovery channel intelligence is kicked in, because I'm like, okay, one, we're already in deep mess now because there's already a text message trail. You know, they can dig up through your phone and get all that crap now. They can figure all that stuff out. So by you telling me to delete the text messages, you've just made everything worse, because once they go in and transcribe and do whatever it is that they do, it's going to look like we're up to something. Second, it's already shown that you've texted me, I've texted you back, and I've called you, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. That's not going to work. And so I'm like, wait a minute, just something doesn't add up. And then the whole idea of being with me from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., that doesn't add up either. Why? Because we both go to work at 11 a.m. And then based on where I live, to get from either the lobby of my building to where I live, or from the garage of my building to where I live, you got to walk past 6 cameras. And in order for you to claim that you've been around me from 9 to 12, you got to be on one of those cameras, and you were not. It's going to show me by myself. And at some point, you have to be in that visual of coming in the building or coming out. So that's not going to work. And then when we get to work, which is the place where we should be between the hours of 9 and 12, or at least 11 and 12, there's a camera at the front door. So you should have seen us coming in, to work on the camera. So I'm like, nope, that's not going to work. What are you doing? So that's why I sent the question mark, because I'm like, listen, I'm all down for trying to cover for somebody, but you got to give me the context before you just drop me into some nonsense. Because listen, I'm not taking a charge or anything for anybody, not even my mama. I love her to death, but she go to jail for some mess, I'll put some money on her commissary. She raised me well. I will take care of her from the jail cell and make sure the house is taken care of. And so they send a thing talking about the investigator is here. Then they send another text after they told me to delete everything. They're gonna text me again, and I'm like, huh? Talk about the investigator's gonna call you. I'm like, what? Call me for what? And so I'm like, I call a different friend, and I'm like, yo, check this out. And I tell them what happened. Like, does this make sense? My friend's like, nah, something's off. I'm like, I know. So then this number calls me, and it's a number I don't recognize. So I'm assuming it's the investigator. So do you think I answered that crap? Nope. And I didn't push decline either. I just let it ring all the way until the message came on, or the voicemail came on. And I was tripping. Like, I was freaking out. Like, man, they going to jail, because I'm not taking a charge for nobody. I don't know if they done killed that person that was, they got killed, but don't put me in this mess. So I'm over here thinking like, dang, they always trying to put me in some bullshit. Like, they don't ever be thinking nothing all the way through before they just throw me into something. And so that was on a Friday. I didn't hear back from this person until Sunday, because I wasn't calling, I wasn't texting. Y'all ain't seen me. I was this close to getting in my car and hanging out in Baltimore for the weekend. And then they FaceTimed me on Sunday. And I was like, what did they FaceTime me for? And so I was like, well, if they did something, they would have been in jail by now, so they wouldn't be FaceTiming. But I still don't trust them. Maybe this is like the investigator crap. And so I put my finger over the camera, and then I made sure I stood by like a white wall where there were no landmarks, no pictures, no nothing. And then, just to make sure that you couldn't identify nothing. And then I just pushed the little answer button, and I didn't talk. I just sat in silence. And then they just busted out laughing. And I was like, huh? Like, they were like, oh, you are so fake. Oh, you're so fake. So what it was, I don't know if y'all remember, everybody was passing like this meme around a few weeks ago where it was like, if anybody asks, I was with you. And it was like, see if your friends are real, if they're fake or not. And that's what it was supposed to be. However, my friend decided to do that and add 80 other layers to it, talking about investigators and this, that, and the third, and delete this text message. I was like, you know what? That is not the same context. Don't call me fake for no nonsense like that. You almost had my whole life flash before my eyes. I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not going to jail before the age of 30 for nothing, or ever. But that crap had me rolling. I was like, friends just be terrible sometimes. I'm like, how you going to take a meme and then not take the meme, but run with it and take it to a whole new extreme and then want to bring me in it? Like, you, folks are silly. Anyway, let me get off of this thing. By the way, podcast is out. Somebody was asking, the podcast comes out every other Tuesday. So sometimes I forget to make the announcement on the YouTube channel. I just kind of post it, and I assume at this point, if y'all are following the SoundCloud or the iTunes or the Spotify, you get the notification. But yeah, the new podcast episode is out. Anyway, I am out. Share your 2 cents. Subscribe.